What's going on, guys? It's another episode of the MMA Complex, and my name is Josh.
And I'm James.
It is May 22nd, Tuesday, 2018. Uh, nice day, good day. How are you doing? How are you doing, James? What's going on?
Good man. I think we did have a show for you guys last week. We had technical difficulties,
Yeah,
so
technical difficulties. We
but
would
we
have
did
had
record one.
this would have been episode 121 maybe, I think.
Yeah,
But no,
it
this
felt
is
bad.
this is gonna be 120.
But
So
yeah, I guess we're officially back.
we're officially back now.
From fresh from Bellator 199. But yeah, I'm glad that everything's working properly, and
Yeah,
I'm excited to talk about all the crazy news of in the week of mixed martial arts and pro wrestling,
yeah.
and also everything else in between, man.
Yeah. So yeah, last week we had a show, but we're back now. Everything seems to be all good. Um, Over the weekend, you had UFC Chile. There was that with the Usman and Maya. We'll get to that fight soon. Um, and then you had a couple of changes to cards. You have Fabricio getting popped by USADA. He's out of, I forget which card was that. He was out of was it wasn't a 225 or no, it was a fight night. I don't know. No, it was the Russia one, the Moscow one.
Mhm.
He was playing on the headline that one, so that one he's off that card. Yeah, Crow Cup getting injured, changing that main event for UFC no Bellator 200 this
Which
weekend.
is good. I think the main event now should have been the main event from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a
It's a,
title
it's a
fight.
title fight. Yeah, Musasi on there. I mean,
It's
yeah,
a big deal.
it's a big deal. And the rest of the card's actually pretty good. So there's that, and then you have just a bunch of other stuff in the news today. But overall, I mean, yeah, UFC, no, not UFC. I keep saying UFC. Bellator, 199, and in San Jose. We talked about that on the, on the show that would have been. But overall, just a recap: a fun weekend, great night of fights. Really enjoyed it. Really got to appreciate the town of San Jose and San Francisco more around this time than last time. Um, but what'd you think overall? Give it in a nutshell for the
In a
piece,
nutshell, San Jose is a beautiful city. San Francisco's awesome to party at.
right?
Um, Driving, if you're driving, it's a beautiful drive. The fights were amazing as always.
Hmm.
To be there and you know to be credentialed as a media and get to cover a big event like 199 was crazy. It's still surreal to me after 2+ years doing the show. I
Yeah,
still got to pinch myself sometimes, and I appreciate it. I'm very grateful to be able to go to see these fights and be part of the media.
yeah, yeah. No, that it. Every time we go to an event, I feel at home, but then I also I'm just like
There's a
always,
fan screaming inside of
yeah,
you.
always in awe and always trying to contain the inner fanboy. I mean, and to not geek out in any way when I'm around these people,
And
these fighters.
and I hate like to say this 'cause I'm not trying to blow like smoke and on our ass or anything, but
Yeah,
it's cool when people come up to us and only us.
it is.
It's fucking crazy. I always compare it to like a Laker fan interviewing Kobe Bryant on a daily basis. It's like that for us. I mean,
Yeah,
these guys we look up to these guys. We've been fan of, and for them to come up to us and to say hi, it's insane.
yeah.
It's always insane.
It's so yeah. Just seeing all the people that have been in the business for forever to come up to us or to we pass them in hallways or out in like the
Backstage
lobby
area.
of the venue or in backstage or just cage side. It's to see these people to say hi and to just like
Interact.
it's interact with them, talk to them, ask them how they're going, how everything's going, what they're doing, blah blah blah, and just
It's
shooting the
crazy.
shit. And it's really cool. It's really cool. Fighters and people who are more of like the working the event, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like just seeing that stuff. It's the commission people and Big
Hmm.
John and all those people. This is really cool. We're just talking about Big John on Joe Rogan,
Hmm.
which I thought was a really interesting episode right there. What did you think about that one? They went into a lot. I really enjoyed it because it was like a history lesson slash like just like one of the best MMA episodes I think he's had in a while.
Yeah, and it's funny because the next day he had Tim Kennedy, and
That was another good one. That
it
was
was
another.
dubbed the MMA, the MMA episode, but it was really
It was not about
Like it
MMA
was not
at
about
all.
MMA at all. It was like a normal podcast.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, John McCarthy. It's it was yeah. I was like sitting down and if you would take a college course, MMA history 101, this is the
that's who would
podcast
teach
to
it.
listen to. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, or
and like
that's who should be the professor.
yeah,
For
I
MMA
mean
101.
this guy not only he was there from the beginning, but he helped write the rules for the ABC.
Yeah,
He was there from the beginning. The fact that he's so around and he's so relevant today
and
after all those events, and it's crazy. It's
yeah,
cool.
his insight, his knowledge, knowledge of history of the sport. Just, I mean, if you ask anybody of how things are nowadays and why they are and what goes on, is he's either had a part in it or knows like why or who was involved.
Yeah, because he
From
was there for behind the scenes for a lot of the biggest moments in mixed martial arts,
yeah,
um, and also like seeing that episode or hearing it, it kind of highlighted Rogan's kind of knowledge in the mixed martial arts because I mean he talked about things that McCarthy knew about, so it kind of like it made you realize, man, like he's really knowledgeable
yeah, knowledgeable and also has been in the game for a long time.
as well,
So, yeah, as well. Probably not as long as Big John, but definitely has been in since the
and
late
more knowledgeable
'90s.
than Combates America's commentary for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I saw that tweet. Um,
God,
but yeah, and I mean, Big John was very honest in his opinion about a lot of people and about how a lot of things went down. Um,
yeah, I mean, like, let's shoot it straight about Glenn
it's
Campbell and
yeah,
the CEO of Combate Americas.
who's a nice guy and who has a great promotion going on with Combate, but yeah, Big John called him out for kind of touting his like having, I guess, a lot more of a larger role than in the UFC's start or MMA start, um, than what really
I
went
think
down. And,
I think what kind of like annoyed Campbell was the fact that he lied about his position in the whole UFC origin story, and two, I think the fact that he brags about it, like he kind of like it's kind of like someone dropping a name. It's
yeah,
kind of like that. That's what annoys McCarthy the most is the fact that he's like bragging about it
yeah,
when he doesn't need to brag about it. He's
yeah.
successful in his own right.
I didn't know there was a beef. I mean, I didn't know there was a beef going on, but there's
It
clearly
makes
like
sense, yeah, because we cover Combate, we've
yeah,
gone to a lot of their events, and you never see Big John
yeah. You
refereeing.
don't, you really don't.
It's
Yeah.
usually like Mike and Herb Dean
Hmm.
that do the majority of the refereeing, but you don't see McCarthy. But I think I mean I side with John. John he has no reason to lie about these things,
No.
and he was there for most of the stuff that happened that went down. It's just like why brag Campbell when you have a successful MMA
Yeah.
promotion that you should be proud of.
Yeah.
There's no need to be saying stuff like I'm the co-creator of the UFC. Just you have your own brand now, and just focus on that. There's no
Yeah.
reason why you need to put that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make you look good. It makes you look bad.
No, and I think just yeah, he just said really laid it out who was involved, who helped, and just even crafting the rules, what he had to go through. I mean, if you know a little bit about this history of the UFC, and like the UFC put out a documentary not that long ago, I think around the time of maybe probably before UFC 200, Lorenzo and all of are still involved, but it was like a documentary showing the beginnings of the UFC, and I thought that was a really, really, really good documentary, and a lot of that um, history is in there and it's really shown really well. But I forgot the name of it, but it was
There's also a podcast. It's a ESPN 30 for 30 podcast
mhm.
on UFC one and how it came to be, and that's really interesting. They
It
they
is
mentioned
interesting,
Campbell in that podcast. It's like a
and
30-minute podcast. Is you go to wherever podcasts are found, just
yeah,
type in ESPN 30 for 30, and it's called the beginning of UFC one, and it kind of tells you how it went down, and it gives you the history leading up to
yeah,
UFC one.
and Campbell was a part of it. He was definitely a part of it, but
But to say that he's a co-creator
yeah,
is,
yeah,
yeah, that's like saying that we're
didn't have as big a role. I guess that he likes to lead on right now. That especially is one of the reasons why Big John isn't really too fond of him. But yeah, that was a good podcast recently that came out. We don't we listen to all these shows, you know, we listen to all the MMA, pro wrestling, Joe Rogan, all that stuff. So we consume all this stuff on a daily basis. But another one was the MMA Hour, who we have a lot of friends in that MMAfighting.com
Yeah.
people.
I think most of their staff have been a part of the
Most
show.
of the staff were actually pretty cool with, really good friends with. So we see
And
them
have been a
and
guest on the
have
show.
been, yeah, and a lot of them have been on guest, I guess, on the show. And Ariel kind of really broke down the big move for him over to ESPN, which I thought was pretty cool. And we're talking about the ESPN Plus being only like $4.99 a month, which I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon. But the podcast that Ariel's going to have with Chael is on Wednesday nights, and it's going to be on ESPN Plus. And then he's going to have his own MMA hour style show on Mondays on ESPN.
It's
Prior
called
to
the Erihani's MMA show.
Ariel Hawani's MMA show. I don't know if I like the name. I think they could have shortened it down a
It's
little bit.
basic, but yeah,
Yeah. Or the MMA show with Ariel Hawani. I don't know, something like
that
that.
sounds better.
Yeah. Which maybe that's what it's called, but we'll see. I don't know. But I thought, and then he went into depth about like the deal, and I mean, we just watched it not that long ago, and then how I think they're going to still continue the show, which would be weird. It'd be like if we ended up going somewhere and then someone took over this show.
Oh, I wouldn't like that at
Wouldn't that be
all.
weird?
Yeah, I mean, or just think of your favorite band and have someone else. I mean, a lot of times it depends on the singer area,
Yeah,
or I don't know. It's not. It's not. It's people don't like change.
it is kind of like a band losing
Yeah,
like their main singer and then
yeah,
someone filling in.
yeah.
Yeah,
It is. And then Ariel's. When you think of Ariel Hawani, you think of MayFighting.com.
yeah.
He is the face of the website. Um, he is their go to guy. He's a rock star. He's the reason why they get so many awards every year. Pretty much, they get it every year. I think with Ariel gone, it's a big loss for MMA fighting. I think Ariel has a big following that's gonna kind of leave MMA fighting, I think, and fall him over to ESPN.
Especially because they're
Um,
going to be doing a lot of the same stuff,
yeah, it's
like
gonna be the same
post fight
thing.
shows,
Yeah, and
press.
the one thing that I enjoy about MMA fighting is their coverage and
Yeah,
Ariel's pre-fight interviews, post-fight interviews. All that. So I eat it up each and every time.
yeah.
Without Ariel, I don't know. I'm gonna be one of those people that are gonna follow him over to ESPN, and I'm happy that he's somewhere where it's just because MMA fighting. I mean, let's be honest,
It's
it's only for the hardcores who really watch it.
yeah.
Where now he's in a bigger platform in ESPN. We have all the casual fans kind of tuning in, and people at bars who don't really necessarily follow mixed martial arts can follow it with someone with experience and knowledge of the sport, with respect of the sport. Because a lot of these journalists don't really respect MMA. You have Eric Hawani, being our voice
Yeah.
in a platform like ESPN, which is a good thing for not only mixed martial arts, but for him and ESPN.
Yes, but yeah, the mainstream sports analysts when they cover mixed martial arts, it's cringeworthy. I can't like it just more annoys me than
It's
than
they pretend to care when they don't care,
yeah, or they
and you see it right through it.
and they yeah, you see right through it. You see that they don't really know or care about the sport so much. They're just covering it for the hell of it because there's
Because
like
they
some
have
crazy
to.
knockout
Yeah,
or Connor did something. That's about it.
it's
I
usually
mean,
something bad.
yeah, it's usually something bad or yeah. So, but it's to have somebody who's credible over there, and not even only Ariel. It's Jeff Wagenheim's joining him over there.
Yeah, from the
Yeah,
Washington
Brett
Post.
Yakamoto over there. Akamoto
Who's a good
heading over there.
journalist if
Who's
you're
a
a
good
hardcore fan,
journalist? Yeah,
but with Ariel and he's everywhere, and
Chael.
he's our guy
Yeah.
that's
So
gonna represent the sport
his last show on the MMA Hour is the 11th, right,
of June. Yeah,
of June.
and his last pay per view that he'll be covering for MMA fighting will be this next one. I think he was 224.
Or
No,
no,
no, 226.
220, no,
Five?
225.
225 will be
Chicago.
Chicago. That'll be his
Which
last.
which
His
that's
last
a good
one.
one to, I mean, I guess to go for MMA fighting to go out on. That's
Yeah, because I think
that,
CM Punk is going to fight on that
yeah.
show, and if you know the history between CM Punk and Aaron Hawani, he always has a one-on-one interview in at his house or in his hotel room every year before and after CM Punk gives him the access.
Yeah.
So you'll see his last one with the MMA fighting banner, and now it's gonna be it's unfortunate. Now I don't know, like, I'm not saying it's gonna happen like where MMA fighting is gonna fall off the grid, but I think they're gonna take a big loss.
They're going to take a very big loss. Yeah.
And I think ESPN are gonna start winning those awards at the MMA award show.
Well, who do they have really that can? I mean, other than Luke Thomas and maybe Danny Segura. I mean, you have Sean
Yeah,
El Shadi.
but guys with like Luke Thomas, who's already has committed to
He's
XM
busy.
Radio,
Hmm.
his XM Radio show. I think he does the MMA fighting things on the site. I think he's more committed to his own show
Yeah,
at XM. Um, then you have Chuck Mindenhall, who's not really he's with the MMA fighting, but he also writes for someone else.
yeah. So he's busy, and he's not a big personality. I think to really take.
No, he's more like an anchor.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a guy that he's a good person to be like a co-host role.
Sean's a little too green. I think Sean El Shadi. Like even when he had to do the post fight with Cormier, remember he was all nervous and all that. I'm like,
Hmm.
dude, if you can't, you could barely do that.
It comes out.
To go on the MMA hour, yeah, he's not gonna do it. Danny Segura, I don't think. I don't know. You think Danny Segura could take? Who? They're gonna have to go from outside, really.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but
New York
yeah.
Rick. That'll be
Eh,
New York Rick. I think New York Rick could do it. You know,
even watching that show
he's
with
also
New
too
York
busy
Rick,
too, though.
when watching that show that he hosted wasn't the best.
Oh, that's right.
That
He
was
did host a show, huh?
yeah. It was very cringeworthy. Yeah,
Don't tell New York Rick that,
yeah.
dude.
It was hard to watch.
Um,
It's it all comes down to like you're used to Arohwani, and anything that's not Arohwani,
you know who else?
we're gonna criticize.
TJ. If they get TJ DeSantis, if they get him on.
Yeah, I mean he'd be great because he does play by play
Yeah.
for
John Pollock.
no
No,
John
no, he's
Pollock.
got his own thing going on.
They dude ESPN and MMA fighting offer John Pollock jobs.
ESPN offered him a job.
Hmm. As a writer,
Oh.
he said no. He wants to he wants to focus on pro wrestling and he's committed to post wrestling.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of their content revolves around post wrestling. I mean, that's where it's at. I mean, they'll dab a little in MMA, but it's all pro wrestling for
Yeah,
them.
he turned in so many jobs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could get one with Fox because they are in
Yeah.
business with.
That's a good segue to our next topic. Yeah,
Yeah.
the WWE reportedly signed with with Fox, Big Fox, not FS1, but Fox 11,
Yeah.
a 5-year deal spanning over $1 billion, which
Well,
the
Big Fox.
WWE,
It'll be Big
yeah,
Fox, right?
yeah, Fox 11, yeah.
Well, it's Fox 11 here, but not for other people.
Oh yeah, yeah, Big Fox,
Big
yeah,
Fox.
Big
Yeah.
Fox, and yeah, Fox. I mean, WWE will be making I think $240 million a year with this deal, and it's exclusive to their SmackDown show,
Mhm.
which is their B show. It's
Yeah.
insane that Vince can pull off a number that's over $1 billion just for 5 years.
Yeah.
It's and it's not even necessarily like the number that they're getting. It's more like they're getting that for SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see that with Raw, but with SmackDown, you would never think they're gonna they're gonna number. But I mean, pro wrestling is hot right now. I think it's hotter than it's ever been, or as hot as it was in '97 with the rise of the Indies and NXT,
Yeah.
and people still love pro wrestling,
Yeah.
and it shows. I mean, Fox is are willing to pay WWE $240 million a year.
And that's the
for
thing with
5
pro
years.
wrestling. They'll have like small dips of popularity, but they're always going to be around because they can stay relevant. They can build stars.
Yeah,
They can determine the outcome, and it's just like, and they get the fan base young. So
yeah. And you know what? What's smart about the WWE that the UFC isn't doing, because the UFC is including their Fight Pass with ESPN. With WWE, they have their network separate. This is only SmackDown. They're still going to charge $9.99 for their subscription, which pays you even more money for the network, especially during WrestleMania season.
Mhm.
Plus, they're getting this over 1 billion plus for SmackDown,
Yeah.
plus Raw. Man, Vince is making so much money. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you look at the who is in control of the UFC right now, and you have people from IMG and all that, and
So yeah,
WME, all them like it.
their
They're
entertainment group
they're
try to own a sports league.
a sports league. They're an entertainment group owning a sports league, and yeah, I mean, are they really the right people to manage it? I don't know. I don't think so because I mean you got people like in the WWE who are it's a family-owned business. They and obviously they have influences of like Triple H and some of the younger people. It's not always just Vince. You have Shane. You have so you have people that have come into the family that have brought big influence into how things the direction of things. So
And I think too, I think what's more important too is that the Triple H has this NXT,
yeah,
their developmental league, really making the next stars coming up,
yeah,
and they're doing it right. And I mean, shit, over $1 billion for 5 years speaks a lot about that
yeah,
deal and the direction that WWE's at right now.
yeah. And there is reports out there that Fox is still going to be in the MMA business. They're going to probably they're splitting the TV rights and whatever deal with the next TV deal with ESPN. They're pretty much going to take the other portion of it and they're going to split it. So they're I don't think they're out of the MMA business altogether. But you were also saying that I think from Pollock, right, that they were kind of I guess looking back now thinking that they should have just went with
Super
the
Pro Wrestling,
WWE deal. And I could see that, yeah.
yeah.
Um, but they had, I mean, it wasn't until the last couple of years when the UFC sold that, and they started overloading the schedule that ratings started to dip. Certain shows were getting
Yeah, I
higher
mean,
ratings, some were not.
yeah, 2016 was the UFC's biggest year, and
Yeah,
now and it's gonna be hard. And then you have all the stars not here. I mean, you got John
yeah.
Jones on leave. You got McGregor doing his thing. You got Ronda Rousey now in the WWE. I mean,
Well,
they're few and few. They're pretty thin
because
on the star side.
The UFC Fox deal was like what 7 years or six, seven,
It was
right?
7 years. Yeah,
So let's say like if
that was
Fox,
2012.
yeah, if Fox only had a 5 year deal with the UFC, they would actually put a pretty good deal because when they got the UFC is at its height, and during that time they had like big events, they had a lot of buzz, and it wasn't until the last couple of years where it started to trail off because of the scheduling. But
And I think the thing to blame for that is overkill. I think
it was overkill,
overkill
yeah,
and fans. I mean, there's some fans that more is good, and there's some fans that they need a break because
yeah,
it's every weekend you get a card, and a lot of those big fights that are in between get lost in the shuffle because
yeah,
they're not properly promoted,
yeah,
and so you don't even know there's a big fight happening that weekend
yeah,
because it's overshadowed by all these fights that you see every weekend. It's like ugh.
yeah.
And then they go way too long. It's like a 7 hour broadcast.
Like what was the reports on? I forgot who talked about it. I think I heard about it maybe from maybe Shab or something like that. Like he had it on his podcast talking about the UFC 224 had 100 no had 85,000 buys or 185,000 buys. Like it was like around that number,
Which is
which is
it's not a bad number.
I mean it was the lowest in 10 years. That number it was
Oh,
a yeah yeah
oh,
compared to the other
jeez.
events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad number in terms of like
I mean, no knock to Amanda Nunes and Raquel Pennington, but the UFC isn't putting the promotion machine behind those two girls,
no they're not. And the fact
that's
that
and this is the result of that.
and you have events after fights. We're gonna go with the UFC just with the UFC alone 5 straight weeks. I think a whole 5 straight weeks of big
Well,
fights.
do you remember like during the holidays we went on a 2 month stretch? We had a fight every weekend for 2 months.
Yeah,
I mean, and I'm telling you, those FS1 cards are like 7 hours.
yeah,
That's why I record them
yeah.
and
Well,
just fast forward the BS.
but the lineup, I give them credit. The lineup is good coming up. You have with the UFC 225, which is a sick card, and then you have Darren Till and Stephen Thompson this weekend. I mean, the schedule is pretty for the main events, pretty good. I
Yeah,
mean, they're all interesting. They're none that are like just like last weekend. I would say is probably like a whatever card. I mean, I think it got it like around 900,000 views.
yeah.
But it was Usman and Maya. I mean, the rest of the card was like whatever. But like that was one that I could easily, even hardcore fans would probably just skip. So
I did. I just watched the highlights.
yeah, I mean, and we'll get to that card and just break that down a little bit. But yeah, I mean the WWE, it's what they do. They will never go away really as long as they have the right people in place managing the company and they build the stars and you have a home for SmackDown, Raw, and a pay-per-view, and people know exactly where to go get it and who they expect to see.
Yeah, and then we
And there
mentioned
you
this.
go.
We mentioned this on our previous episodes that I can sit down and watch a WrestleMania 6 or WrestleMania 10 over and over again, and I will never get sick of it.
Yeah.
I can't sit down knowing the result of who won that fight and rewatch it. I just can't do it.
It's I would
It's difficult.
WWE is a little bit more rewatchable. It is.
Yeah, it's like nostalgia. Like you
Yeah.
go back there and you relive
Yeah.
those cartoon 80
Yeah.
characters.
But I do say that, when you sit down and watch an old UFC card, like an FS1 card with like whoever may be, and it was like you remember the card, like or maybe I don't remember how some of the outcomes were. I would actually sit and watch the
Yeah,
fights.
if I forget who won, then I don't mind sitting. But if
Yeah.
I know
Or if I
this
know it's a good
person
fight, you know.
doesn't like even if they're good fights, I can't
Yeah.
sit down and watch it.
I could go back, like if I'm watching TV, I could watch an entire card if it's on, and normally they just put the main card on, and if it's a good card and I remember the card kind of, like just nostalgic purposes, I'll watch it.
Mm.
If WWE or UFC is definitely rewatchable, it is. But it's a lot more. It's a lot funner to go back and watch some of the WWE events, like the old ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you had what's it called? What else? UFC 129. That was Maya versus Usman. Um, you had
fight night.
yeah, it was a fight night, right? What did I call it? What was it?
Oh, you said UFC 129.
Oh yeah, I mean Fight Night 129.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fight Night 129. Andrea Lee made her debut. Unanimous decision over Veronica Macedo. You had Dominic Reyes, Jared Cannonier. A lot of good knockouts though. A lot of good knockouts on this card. Tatiana Suarez destroyed Alexa Grasso, freaking
Yeah.
in like what, a couple of minutes, maybe a
Mhm.
minute, or I don't know what it
She's
was.
it's crazy because she was away from the game for so long, and she
Yeah,
walked in there. You know, most people because she's coming off that one Ultimate Fighter. I think she had one fight before after that,
yeah.
and she just went away for a long time. I felt like, and
She is a
for
beast
her
though,
to come
man.
in, after that long layoff and do
She's been about a
and
year.
then pretty much maul a veteran, a pretty active veteran in Alexa Grasso, like
Yeah.
the way she did it was very impressive. And I don't know, I think they usually should feed her a top 10, top 5 girl. I think she's ready for it.
Yeah, the way she just like
Oh,
she
her wrestling
I mean,
is
you knew she was gonna try to take it in that area, but her wrestling, her
oh
transitions were
yeah,
just
it's
like,
yeah.
yeah, and then
There's levels.
yeah, she took the back and immediately got the choke in. It was
Yeah.
just crazy. Kamaru Usman, Damian Maya. Right. This one was interesting. It was frustrating to watch this one. I watched the entire thing. It you had Maya, who didn't have much of a game plan, man. He basically had his like a single jab, which was landing. He'd throw the overhand right every now and then, and he went take for takedown after takedown after takedown, and then
I
attempt.
mean, I think you watching that fight was like watching him fight Anderson Silva, and that he wanted to pull guard so bad, or he wanted to take those lazy takedowns.
Yeah.
He really wanted that. But I mean, props to Usman who's prepared for that, and
I,
he sprawled and
yeah.
gave him that front headlock.
I mean, it was very easy to see what Maya was going to do because he didn't really offer much of any changes. I mean, and it was weird because Maya has decent striking, and I mean he's shown it before. He went on this little run of where he improved his striking, and he was like he looked like a force with the striking a little bit.
Yeah,
Kind of scare a little bit
but
people.
Usman landed some hard shots that I think hurt Maya, and I think Maya was hesitant to
Yeah.
continue to strike with him.
That and it's like he didn't do it. He doesn't set up his takedowns. He didn't like throw a variety of strikes, or he didn't do much. And I think if he would have really committed to his striking, knowing that his ground game is so good, I think he could have probably landed something on Kamaru Usman because I seen Kamaru's last two fights, not impressed. I have not been like his striking didn't look all that good. I know he injured his hands early, um, but he didn't look that good in his last fight either. And I mean, I know he's like people were intimidated by him, and he was not getting fights because of it. But I saw a beatable person, a
Yeah,
beatable
but
fighter.
who knows, man? Like a lot of these times, these fighters go in the cage injured.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he came in that fight with an injury. Who knows?
Yeah. But in
But
terms of like,
it just seemed like he was his confidence was going down each time Usman landed some shots, and
yeah,
it showed by his lazy takedown attempts and him wanting to pull guard and him just getting beat up
and
for all those rounds.
yeah, and he did take the did take the fight on short notice. So his gas tank, you could see towards the end of the fight, really was kind of like he didn't have much in the last 2 rounds. But
It was a
it
lackluster event.
yeah, but if you look at the top contenders, Kamaru Usman, Darren Till, Colby Covington, who's the scarier individual?
Chill.
I'll probably go Till.
Yeah, that
Kamaru was
division outside of Tim and Willie is very weak in my opinion.
that division, the welterweight division.
Yeah,
I think is one of the strongest. No, that one and maybe the 155 or 145, probably 145.
155, 145. I don't
One of
know.
those.
Covington, for him to be up there is like, you know, I think, yeah. I mean,
I
how
mean,
far RDA is at 185 now.
yeah, yeah.
It's just like who they, like who's there besides Covington and Till and Woodley?
Willie Lawler's not around right now.
Yeah, it's a very, in my opinion, it's one of the weakest divisions right now.
I wouldn't.
Outside of those fighters, who's there? Who's at 170 right now?
I probably have to look at the rankings. We could, but I would say it's.
Compared to the 155,
We're talking about the
145 division.
yeah. No, that definitely those are the two of the best ones. I think probably definitely the 145. Currently, there it is. You mean current right here. What year is this? What year is this? Well, Tyron Woodley, let's see, Rory McDonald's out there. Stephen Thompson, Dos Anjos, Robbie Lawler, Colby Covington, Masvidal, Till, Usman. Those are the top 10.
Yeah, not very impressive.
No, those are some impressive guys. And then you got the other guys who are not ranked in top 10, who are still
I
like
mean they're somewhat impressive, but
Ponzinibbio.
I think if you look at all the weight classes, I think 170 is at the lower top.
Yeah, I would say it's toward the lower than the very top.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was just kind of frustrating to see Maya not offer much, even though he's capable of doing more. Usman he didn't look that good in my opinion. I compared to other guys in the division, I think he could.
No, if Uzman fought someone else, I think he would have been beaten. But the fact that it's the way that Maya fought
Yeah.
made him look good.
And then you have this weekend Bellator 200. Um, that's that card changed because of Crow Cup getting injured. It's now Musasi and Carvalho. You have Michael Page, David Rickles, Roy Nelson.
Are we
I
doing
think
five
it's
picks
still
now?
on the card actually. You want to do some five picks?
Oh no, I thought we were doing five picks because you going down to the
Yeah,
card.
yeah. I was looking at it because
Oh,
this weekend is actually pretty damn good, and I want to spend a little time on that one, I guess. Um, yeah, the Bellator 200. Phil Davis, Linton Vassell.
hmm.
I like that one.
It's an easy
Kate
fight for
Jackson and
Phil.
Anastasia Yankova, who's coming back. Nice to see her again. Um, yeah, that's great. Phil Davis, Linton Vassell. Who do you think? Two light heavyweights, top
Oh,
contenders in this
easy. Phil
division.
Davis.
You think Phil Davis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, I think it's an easy fight for him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think with his wrestling, obviously, it'd be nice to see Phil Davis in the cage again. Roy Nelson, I think he's still looking for an opponent. I think he should get one. If not, they haven't booked him yet. Michael Page, David Rickles, return of Michael Page,
MVP.
MVP. Huh? Rafael Cavallo versus Gegard Mousasi.
Masasi.
I think I'll go Mousasi too. I think so too. I think that I'm interested in that fight because Carvalho has been taking out people, but he's not the scariest individual at that weight class. Even though he's a champ,
Hmm.
it'll be interesting if Musasi could get some gold. That card is this weekend, this Friday, I believe. You have UFC
Fight night.
Fight Night 130, Thompson versus Till.
Oh, it's a tough fight to pick, man. That's so hard to pick.
The card's good. You have Manny. You have Americani, Makwan Americani making his return. Jason Knight. Haven't seen that guy for a while. Claudio De Silva. We've had him on the show before. Um, Elias Terdu, Neil Magny, Craig White. I mean, the card itself is like okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a fight
Yeah.
night. Luckily, it's free. The main event though, Stephen Thompson,
Oh
Darren Till.
God,
What do you have?
it's so whole. This is a one
This was tough.
tough. I keep going back and forth on this fight because I can see both guys winning this fight. I think Stephen Thompson's so seasoned with his karate, his awkward style, but you've seen it be beaten by guys like Woodley. I don't know. It's I'm gonna go with Till.
And go Till. Do you think Till's gonna
I don't
weather
know.
the storm and get in
I
there?
can see either guys beating each other. It's just
Yeah,
a hard fight to fight. I'm picking Till just because I have to pick somebody.
yeah.
And I'm not saying
Why Till though?
that
Is it
Thompson.
size, strength, striking style?
I think Till is on a better run right now, and he's looked more impressive than
Yeah,
Thompson. I think that's why I'm picking Till. Not saying that Thompson can go in there and beat him because I think
yeah.
he
I
can.
think it can. Yeah.
But if I have to look at if I have to judge the fighters on the last performance, I'm
Do
gonna
you,
go with Till.
do you think this is too soon for Till? Would you have liked to have seen him against a guy like
I mean,
Usman before?
not necessarily. I mean, he fought Cowboy, which is a top contender.
Yeah,
Even though we're seeing the downhill of Cowboy, in my opinion. But no, I think if he fought Cowboy, I think he has the right to fight Stephen Thompson.
yeah.
And the fact that they're fighting in Liverpool,
It's in his hometown.
yeah,
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of
it's
win-win for Thompson in this.
not. He's been going there in enemy territory. I
Fighting
mean,
a young, hungry guy.
yeah, he's in the same situation I think Cowboy was.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think he has more to lose than Cowboy did
yeah.
because of I think if you compare Cowboy and Stephen Thompson, I think Stephen
Where their
Thompson has
careers
a
are at, I
bigger
think.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Steven's on the still on the at the top, where Cowboy's starting to
Yeah,
make
Cowboy
decline.
is like the mid card,
Yeah. Um.
the gatekeeper, if you want to say. But I'm gonna go with Till just because they're fighting in England. He's young. He's coming off a pretty impressive victory over Don Cerrone. But not saying that Thompson can win this fight because I think he could.
Yeah.
I'm going Till. Final answer.
I will. Since this is so close, I'll probably go with Thompson. I've been going back and forth.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick, man.
I felt Till, and then I was like, wait a minute. I watched a couple of Till's fights, and I was like, I think Thompson could
He's experienced, man. He's been there before. This is Till's first
yeah.
main event. He's fighting in his hometown, which is not.
There is that
A lot of people say it favors him, but it doesn't. It adds more pressure.
a lot more pressure, and then you got a guy who's a veteran, who's developed his takedown
Who's been in that
defense.
dance? He's fought 5 round wars with the current champ.
Yeah, he's been in main events plenty of times. His striking is top notch in the UFC, like top notch in terms of like this lethal variety of strikes. I mean, he's probably he's up the top contenders in terms of in any division really in terms of striking. Um, I think he just like the way he handled Masvidal is I think a lot of the ways that Darren Till's going to come at him is just he's a bigger version of it. Um,
Yeah,
Till's striking is a little bit like it's effective, but it's also he throws a lot of the same strikes.
I think what favors Thompson too is Thompson fights long.
Yeah,
Um, he's quick, man.
yeah.
He's
Aside,
there's guys that don't know how to use their
yeah,
size. Stephen Thompson knows how to use the size and his
yeah.
advantage.
Aside from the fact that Darren Till, I think is going to be the much bigger guy, and has really hard shots and really effective striking. I think Thompson is just too slick, offers too much that I don't think Till can really get past. So I think
Yeah.
I would say Thompson.
I mean, they're both good picks. It's a
Yeah,
hard fight to pick, but we'll see what happens this Sunday. It's a Sunday card, which is
it's a
nice.
Sunday card. Yeah. So that's this weekend's fights. You also have LFA on Access TV. Um, let's see. You have a couple of card changes, a couple additions to the card. You have, yeah, again, Fabricio getting popped for PEDs. He's gonna have to go with that. He's off the Moscow card. You have, just a couple other stuff. You had the stuff with Ariel and all that. A lot of the news breaking on that. But other than that, it's a good weekend of fights coming up. A good schedule coming up. Glad to put out another episode for you guys, and probably call it a show. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll come back next week and try to get you guys a show. We'll try to have some guests on there. We're looking to get some good ones for the next one. Until then, go to themmacomplex.com for everything MMA Complex, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, and also before we do our social media shout outs, there's a documentary coming out this Friday on Showtime called Bipolar Rock and Roller with
Yeah, with
Mauro
Mauro
Ranallo.
Ranallo.
It's I mean, like you don't need to be a combat fight fan to enjoy it. I think it's a documentary that will touch the human spirit
Yeah.
for anybody. So it deals with Mauro Ranallo's mental disability. He has bipolar. It's jarring, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. So if you guys have Showtime, it's this Friday, the 25th of May, called Bipolar Rock and Roll. Check it out. So until then, you can follow the show, the MMA Complex,
Hmm.
on social media, I mean not Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all under the MMA Complex. Like Josh said, big fights this weekend
Hmm.
with Bellator 200 and the UFC's Fight Night. It's I'm very excited. In our next episode, we'll go ahead and break everything down. But
Yeah.
until then, enjoy the fights and enjoy your week.